All right. Welcome to Bitcoin Crypto News Online. I just got my computer back and I'm trying to set it up, so hopefully this works good. We'll just go for it and see what happens. On the U.S. Strategic Crypto Reserve. Is that a bad idea? Well, I think in some ways it is, in some ways it isn't. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why it could be a bad idea, why it could be a good idea. And then if you hang with me for a few more minutes, we'll look at the charts and talk about some good positive news as well. And as usual, I'll try to make this brief and to the point as much as possible. I am your host, Shane. Again, welcome to Bitcoin Crypto News Online, formerly known as Mountain Crypto. So let's get back to this CoinDesk article. This came out in the last hour, brand new. 8 reasons why a strategic crypto reserve is a bad idea. Some of them you could probably think of right away, by Nick Carter, edited by Benjamin Schilter. This came out today on the 4th, not long ago. But everybody is thrilled about all the U.S. involvement with Bitcoin. Of course, there is negatives and positives. This would definitely secure Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies potentially as a global asset and powerhouse moving forward ever quicker in most people's opinion. So what could be easily undone? Well, if this is not passed by Congress, this reserve could be redone by the next administration. Trump has 4 years, and theoretically, even Republicans could undo this. I wouldn't think they would, but they could certainly change it quite a bit. So, yeah, executive orders they're great. They get something started right away, but they're weak because they are not law. Not that I've really seen a lot of law that hasn't been argued and twisted beyond all recognition, but, it is what it is. So people are hoping that Trump makes a policy with or without Congress approval. Those who are in the know, like we just talked about, we know that it needs Congress, it needs law, Senate. The global reserve issuer should not disrupt itself. The U.S. is basically the currency of the world, the U.S. dollar, like it or not. Certainly has been abused, but we can see that the crypto reserve could be positioned as an investment fund, or is it going to be tied to the dollar? Is it going to be like the gold standard? Is it going to be something just used to prevent us from going into debt by investing? Is it going to be a fund? Who's going to manage it? Who gets to pick the winners and losers? All these things are concerning. Is this, just a way to regulate the cryptocurrency market so heavily that we're forced to stick with the dollar that is manipulated and used as a source of control and power? That's a question that you got to ask yourself. Could this cryptocurrency collapse the dollar? Some people think that it might. Some people think it will strengthen it. I assure you, the U.S. government, Trump, or anyone else for that matter, my cat is trying to walk on my computer, sorry, is going to not do anything that's going to unravel the power of the U.S. dollar. They will only utilize crypto to strengthen the U.S. dollar, in my opinion. I don't see any government doing anything else. The U.S. already has plenty of exposure to Bitcoin. Well, we are the biggest holder of Bitcoin of anyone as far as a nation goes. The companies, of course, MicroStrategy, you've got Grayscale, you've got BlackRock, you've got Fidelity, you've got so many others. So yes, we pretty much already control it as a country. So this is something that needs to be thought about. One meaningful point here the article brings out is the U.S. benefits when Bitcoin goes up through tax realizations. Even if they get rid of capital gains, it'll still be taxed. They're not going to just let you, not be taxed, at least as far as things look right now. Not paying capital gains would be an advantage and cut taxes probably in half about, but you'd still pay ordinary income, I'm pretty sure. If it were tax-free, that would be unbelievable, even if it was just Bitcoin or a handful of other coins. So the U.S. having direct exposure to these funds, is that a good thing? Should the government acquire Apple or NVIDIA stock? Why should it be able to have all these other coins? I think Bitcoin is a good argument that it is a commodity, but when you start talking about these other coins that Trump says he wants to put in there, like XRP, Solana, even Ethereum to a degree, even though it's already been approved as an ETF, this is something you got to think about. These can go many different directions. They're not truly decentralized coins. They have some form of centralization within them. So that's something we got to be aware of. There's no strategic value in a crypto reserve, some might argue, because it could drop to nothing, right? Oil, oil is really there. Gold is really there. So people might argue that this is not actually a true reserve because of it being digital. I think it could be argued either way because we are in a new world where digital things are of value and do hold tangible value. Crypto reserve dilutes the value and position or proposition of Bitcoin. I think that's partly true, not 100%, but I can see the advantage of having cryptocurrencies in the reserve because this would help build the cryptocurrency, especially in the US. So that could benefit companies, but how do you pick winners and losers? That's the question. How do you do that? That's always somebody's going to assume that there is someone taking advantage, especially if they change well, today it's 5% in Solana, but now we're going to do Avalanche 100%. And then you find out, well, Avalanche donated a whole bunch of campaign money. And there are people who are saying that this is already something that has probably influenced those in charge, the crypto czar and such, but I understand that he got rid of all of his assets to do this, but I would think he must have some money in some fund that is at least maybe making its own choices to what crypto it makes, or chooses or picks, like maybe a BlackRock, or maybe like a MicroStrategy investment, or maybe a ARK investment in strategy where they're investing in multiple coins and cryptocurrency projects. I don't know. Maybe he's given it to a third party that just makes the decisions for him based on certain criteria, and he has no say in it because of his political position. I don't know. But I know when we look at history, it seems like the politicians always find a way to get the inside information and profit off of it much more than anybody else. So it could turn Americans against Bitcoiners. It says only a small fraction, 5 to 20% of Americans own Bitcoin. 5 to 20%, that's a pretty big spread there. I would say it would be definitely more like 10% or greater. Many Bitcoiners are extremely wealthy due to their historical investments in the coin, and maybe the other coins would cause resistance. When altcoin season happens and they lose all their money, when the crypto winter comes, and those who've invested in the other things besides Bitcoin see a 90% drop or greater, when Bitcoin typically is only having maybe a 40% drop for maybe for a year or so, and then it just comes right back up again for year 1, 2, and 3, but the fourth year goes down, or however every 4 years. So that's something could turn people against each other. The backlash in the broader society against the crypto community looks for its self-interest. This is what we talked about for a minute. No secret, Trump and his cabinet and inner circle have ownership or even positions in various crypto assets. Trump launched and is affiliated with the NFT project built on ETH, and more than one meme coin of his is built on Solana. World Liberty Financial holds an array of crypto assets. So we need from Trump a reasonable crypto policy, but it should not be based on his own personal gain. And his appointments through the Treasury Commerce, the SCE, the CFTC, the OCC, and others is delivering more cryptocurrency clarity as we move forward. So it's definitely going to be a positive for cryptocurrency in all. But again, you know, when I saw Trump, you can go back and look at my video. When I saw he was releasing a meme coin, it really didn't sit good with me. His what was it? Freedom Financial Liberty or whatever, his company, whatever the heck that company is that he opened up. I can't remember. When he opened that, I didn't think anything of it. The World Liberty Financial. And I think it's mostly through his son, but let's face it, you know, Hunter profited off of Biden and political deals, political contacts in China, and all over the world. We all heard that. We all know that. Maybe, you know, it's only the little clips that have been leaked out that are being called false information, and now it's all been destroyed, so nobody can prove one way or the other that he did it. But to most people, it seems pretty apparent that there was some profit being taken, even though it wasn't proven because the evidence was all pretty much gone. So these are all things that we have to think about. And the other thing that I'm very suspicious of, and don't get me wrong, I still think crypto is a great investment, you know, unless the world comes to an end tomorrow, you know, I'm still going to be investing in it. But, you know, you can't help but see that no matter what Trump says or what he does, we still have a lot of things happening. Like the IRS has demands that we tell them everything. They have a, I don't know if it's through the FINRA or what organization, but it's a federal organization, and they are saying you can't transport. It's transporting. I showed it on one of my videos. We went through the document, and it says you cannot transport Bitcoin without telling them everything. And what they're doing, you could still do it, but they're telling you that you can't. And you may not be seeing these laws. You may not be understanding these laws. But these laws are already on the books. And yeah, you can have your own wallet, but if you hide something from them and they find it, you are going to be in a lot of trouble. This could be a big deal. They would consider that possibly money laundering, and that, you know, money transfer, money transportation is a big deal with the United States government. So, you know, don't think that you have the freedom to hold your own keys and keep your crypto and you can move it around and nobody's going to know, and you know, you're going to be fine. It is against the law. And like I said, the IRS has a lot of information on that. I can't remember what other organization it is, but it's another federal agency, and it's they call it the transportation clause, and it's all about cryptocurrencies and KYC, know your customer. They want it everyone tied. And look at what they do to all these companies, okay? They may be dropping cases against like XRP or against certain companies, but they still are wanting the KYC. So like, you know, I do mining on NiceHash, and some other organizations, well, they are demanding KYC before they let you have your money now because of a U.S. this transportation clause that came out from the U.S. They have a lot to lose, because if they are not having that information and they give the cryptocurrency out, the agency is going to be on them. So, some of this, they'll say, yeah, if the law comes out, this is just my speculation. The law comes out, they finally get it through Congress or whatever in the Senate. And they say, yes, you can have a crypto strategic reserve. It's going to be evenly paced, the top 10 coins, whatever. And, nobody who's on the board is allowed to own any of that. And my cat is going crazy. Can you hear him? Anyway, they're still going to want to know, where the money is and who has it and all this other stuff. So anyway, I think I've yammered on about that way too long. Let's move on. All right. So there is reasons to be concerned, but there's things that are good as well. So Tom Lee predicts, good Lord. Like I said, I just got my computer back, so I'm trying to get everything updated here. The Crypto Times tell us that Tommy Lee, and this is just within an hour or so, he predicts $150,000 Bitcoin in 2025. He says it could surpass it. My price is $180,000. So I hope that happens. I still think it can. And I hope it will happen this year, and I still think it can. But Bitcoin had poor performance last month, lost 24% of its value. Actually, it went up to like 30%, I believe, from 102 to 78,000. Actually, it was up to 109,000. So yeah, and then it rallies up and gains 8 to 10%, but it starts to drop again. We were above 90,000, and now we're back below in the $80,000 price range. By the way, I'm still buying Bitcoin. Bought some again this morning. So and I mine it every day. So I am accumulating Bitcoin every single day. Non-investing advice, just telling you what I'm doing. It's worked great for me over the years. Just putting $50 here, $20 there, it's added up to a nice sum. Other industry experts predict a similar outlook. Bitwise Standard Chartered predicted that Bitcoin price would reach 200,000 by year's end. However, Lee warned against timing the market, and it's hard to predict exactly when Bitcoin will rally. No kidding. No kidding. That has been a hard one. At press time, Bitcoin was 84,000, losing 6% in 24 hours. Trading volume has increased 2% to 72 billion just for Bitcoin, but the market cap is down 6% to $1.7 trillion. So that's where we're at. Those are some of the predictions. You can see I just had to reload my OBS Studio, Open Broadcaster software, which I use. All right, if you want to stick with me, please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment, and let's look at the charts. We are below $3 trillion for our complete market capitalization for the cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin came up a little bit in the last few hours, 1.1%. In the last hour, we're up to 87,000, almost 88. So this is good. If you watched my podcast a few days ago, I said, Bitcoin has to come back up and hit 92,000, or we are potentially have a really bad signal from the charts that we could be going bearish. We did it. We hit the 92,000. Now we just have to hope that the next low, which was below 87, and now we're starting to go back up again. So hopefully we can go back up into the 90,000 range here pretty quickly within the next few days and not drop down below, definitely below that 78,000 that we hit, but hopefully not even below this other mark, right? Let's look at it real quick here. We're going to go with the 7-day here, hopefully. 7-day, please. Computer's a little bit slow. Okay, here we go. Here's where we hit the 78,000. okay? We came back up to about 85. That was not where we wanted to be. We came over here and we hit our 92,000 on March the 2nd. Now, this low is looking at about 82, so it's higher. Now we need to come back up and get in that $90,000 range again in the next probably day or so, day to 2 days. Hopefully we don't stay down. This could go sideways and then go up. As long as it doesn't drop below this point, and preferably it doesn't drop below this 82,000 right here. That's what we need to kind of tell us that we are still going to be in a bear market. Fear and Greed, 15% from CoinGlass.com. Lots of buying opportunities for good coins. I'm sorry, my cat is going berserk. I don't know what his problem is. On the time chain calendar, you can buy 1,138 Satoshis for $1. The crypto prediction. I used to just do Bitcoin, but I found this other page here, which I am quite happy with. Shows the top 10. And just take a look here. Here's Bitcoin at approximately 87,000. Actually, we had over 88,000. The 5-day is 91,000, so we can totally get back to that $90,000 limit that I told you about, according to CoinCodex.com. The 1 month is 112. The 3 month is 150 about, and we have the 6 month at 168,000. And then, of course, after that, we're projected to go into a down market, and that's why this price is only 120. All right, ETH. You can see the projections for ETH here. We're at $2,155. We're looking at about a $200 10% gain in the next 5 days, potentially 1 month up to 27, and the 3 month at 35, and the 6 month at over $4,000. Solana here, we can see over 6 month that is expected to go up over $237. ADA is also looking at some possible gains up to 77% in the next 6 months. Dogecoin up to 84%, and so on and so forth. So you can check this out if you want at the coincodex.com/predictions if you want to keep an eye on that. Altcoin season, yeah, really cold. Again, if you are looking at altcoins, be sure to put in your stop losses. Get your gains. I talked about pretty much the mass majority of coins that I'm in, and most of my altcoins are all just free money right now sitting there. So I really am not too worried about them. So that's about all I got for you right now. Sorry I went on a little bit longer than expected, but I have my computer going and I really wanted to check it out and talk to you about the whole the U.S. Strategic altcoins and cryptocurrencies. So that's it. That's all I got for you. Have a good day. I am out of here. Goodbye.